It is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous that someone can make a YouTube channel that's all about how they don't feel good because of what they're eating and what their diet is and their health issues, and then turn around and make a bunch of videos about how they just gorge on thousands and thousands of calories and expect no backlash. Agreed, Chantal. It's very ridiculous.
That an overweight person is told what to do or what they can and cannot eat, what they can and cannot wear on a public platform.
You'll have to point me to the example, because if your example is random anonymous people on the internet commenting under your videos, with most of them supporting you, by the way, then I'm not sure that we're on the same page.
It is ridiculous that people mental illness shame others.
Chantal, I think it's a little ridiculous that you minimize mental health issues by hiding behind them and attacking people that are offering you very legitimate criticism, alright? Nobody's sitting there and making fun of you. Like, she makes it sound like people are like, ha ha ha, look at her, she's really overweight and she has mental health issues, so let's all bash her. That's not what's going on, Chantal, and the fact that you think that's what's going on makes me think you're a little delusional about the situation that's going on. What people are bashing you for, I shouldn't even say bashing, what people are criticizing you for legitimately is being a hypocrite, Chantal. You're being a hypocrite. You're out there telling or accusing people of bullying and harassing you while you do the exact same thing back to them, and we're just responding to things that you're doing, Chantal. We're responding. You're pushing the ball forward, and we're pushing it back into your court. But I guess, what? We're the bad guys? You get that, guys? Chantal thinks that she's better than you and me, and she thinks that we're the bad guys. Huh?
When you say things like, she's manic, she's bipolar.
I've never said that, so I guess I'm not going to defend that. I don't think yet you're manic or bipolar. I don't know enough about it. I'm not a doctor, but I do know that you do things that are worthy of criticism, and there's no label that you can put on yourself that makes you not worthy of that criticism, because that's just not the world that we live in. By the way, you rascals and rats, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on the video if you enjoy it, and follow me on Twitter at YesterVark1, please. I'd really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 people. Throw me a bone.
You're saying it in a derogatory, condescending way.
I don't like this. I don't like this straw man that you've created against the people that are disagreeing with you. And for those of you that aren't aware, a straw man is where you create your opponent's argument purposefully weak so that you can tear it down like a straw man, right? So, for example here, what we're criticizing Chantal for is her being a hypocrite. Her talking about how she really wants to be healthy and really complaining about her health and her diet, and then eating thousands of calories right in front of the camera and being really condescending about it. And that's what we're criticizing her about. Notice that that's not what she's acknowledging, though. What she thinks we're criticizing her for is something entirely unrelated. She's accusing us of just leveling insults against her that aren't really what the majority of people are saying, you know? She's taking a very small number of examples from her comments, and let's be real here, when you get thousands or tens of thousands of views on every video like she does, you're gonna get some crazies in there that are gonna throw in some crazy comments. So why you're giving them legitimacy yourself, these crazy things, and then associating them with everybody that disagrees with you is beyond me, and I think it's kind of irresponsible, and I think you're the one that's belittling mental illness, and it's kind of gross.
And if I did have that mental illness, what's your point? Why are you mental illness shaming? Don't use it as an insult.
Yeah, use it as a compliment. What is your point, Chantal?
How is it okay for skinny mukbangers to gorge on thousands of calories, but it's not okay for me to eat any fucking thing other than salad and lean protein?
Once again, Chantal shoots and she misses. That's not what the problem is, Chantal. People, and I'm just going to speak generally here, I'm sure that there are people who have issues with things like this, but people aren't really upset at you because you're a larger woman doing mukbangs. That's aside from the point. The problem is that you do mukbangs over here, and then over here, you complain about your health. What do you want us to do here? We're getting two different messages from you. You're like a person that would make a video about cars and how you really love cars and how you really hate that your car isn't running and your car is falling apart, but every day you go out there and you just dump gasoline over the entire engine and you're like, well, I don't understand why you guys are getting mad at me. I'm saying that I like cars and I'm just really upset that my car's falling apart, but I also want to pour gas. You don't get mad when those guys pour gas on stuff. Yeah, because those guys aren't talking about how they really enjoy cars and how they're really upset that their car isn't working, right? You get that?
How is it that people have an issue with me eating corn tortilla chips, but don't have an issue with people eating fucking bacon and cheese?
She has to be messing with us, right? She can't really think that the reason people comment things that aren't fully supportive of her under her videos is because she's eating tortilla chips. She can't really think that that's the reason why, right?
And waffles, just because they're on a keto diet, because it's a trendy diet. How is that okay? I've turned comments off again because the minute I open them up, it's just constant negativity.
Chantal, we've seen your comments, and the crazy thing is actually most of them are supportive of you. That's the thing that blows my mind. It's your people who are telling you, rock on, Chantal, keep going. And you know what? These mukbangers that you think don't get any hate, I guarantee you probably get just as much hate, if not, I don't know, maybe not more, but probably just as much. You don't think Nick Ocado gets things levied at him in his comment section? You don't think that any other mukbanger gets criticisms about the amount of food that they're putting in their body in their comment section? You're delusional if you think that's true. I'm just telling you the truth here. But since we're just going to head and just like pull up random comments, and I guess that those are just truth there, I like this one. This is one that someone put on a comment on one of my videos, and I think that it kind of explains maybe why she's freaking out about this. So this comment explains her meltdown. It says Chantal's meltdown is because one of her mods, named Annie, called her out for her bullcrap, is what I heard. I read it on another video comments. They said it had been posted on Twitter. And actually, I've seen this comment that they're talking about. You see, one of Chantal's mods, Annie, left a comment for Chantal, and it said, and this is in regards to Chantal making a video talking about how she was really upset about her diet and her health, and then immediately, I think it was literally the next day, saying that she was going to do a week of mukbangs just because she feels like it. And Annie commented and said, Chantal, I support you in all that you do, but please don't do this. It's a bad idea. Now we're watching the aftermath of one of Chantal's supporters telling her some hard truths
about what I'm eating and shaming me for what I'm eating. Like that fucking helps.
So what, now we're hostages in from your YouTube channel? Now we have to be supportive of you, otherwise the bad decisions that you make are our fault? It's our job to help you, Chantal? Hey, I tell you what, if these things are hurting you, then maybe what you should do is email the videos to yourself or put them on like a Patreon or something so that only your supporters can watch it. Because if you can't handle the fire, Chantal, maybe you shouldn't be in the kitchen. Because that's kind of what this is. You want all of the good parts of social media, but none of the bad parts. Sorry. Doesn't work that way. You get to make videos out there and get 30,000 views, you're gonna get 99 good comments and one crazy comment. And I'm sorry that you can't handle that one crazy comment, but that's just kind of how it works.
I've said so many times before that I'm not eliminating foods, I'm not restricting. It's my life. Let me fucking live it the way I want to.
We're so happy to. That's the messed up thing that Chantal doesn't understand is we could care less about your life, or we couldn't care less. I never know which one is the right one to use there, but we couldn't care less about what you do with your life, Chantal, and it's kind of pretentious of you to think that we even care that much. We are calling you out because you're complaining about things, and then you just continue to do them. And I think that this is another comment that I've received, since all of a sudden comments just mean everything. And this comment is, hey guys, I'm cold. Watch me put my hand in this fire. I know it's going to hurt, but I don't want to hear how it's a bad idea. Ouch! I can't believe people wanted to tell me not to do it. If that isn't Chantal to a T, then I don't know what is. And maybe I'm the one that's way off base on this, huh? You guys will have to let me know.
If you have a problem with it, then just leave my channel.
Allow me to take your logic and apply it back on you, Chantal. If you don't like these things, how about you leave the channel. Or even better yet, how about if you don't like these things, how about you ignore these people like you're asking them to do? You're saying to people, hey, if you don't like this stuff, then ignore me, okay? Because you don't have to watch it. No one's forcing you to. Well, no one's forcing you to read these comments either, Chantal. But here you are, putting stuff like this on your community tab. And now it's gone now, you guys. But thank goodness some people were able to snag it up and put it out on Twitter. Follow me at Yestervark1. So let's see what she says on there. There was a longer community post about this. Like I said, unfortunately, she's since deleted it all now. But it's this is from Michael B. Petty. He's, of course, a pretty big Twitter guy and pretty big YouTube guy that follows all this stuff. I aspire to have as many followers as that guy. He's pretty funny too. He's a fun guy to follow about this stuff. But she says, hey, guess what I'm doing today? Reporting hate channels. Have a nice day. You know what, Chantal? I don't understand how you think it's appropriate for you to go out there and attack other people for what they're doing, but you think you're exempt from people just making criticisms against you. Weird. Kind of makes you a hypocrite.
I'm keeping comments off. I don't know. I hope for a long time. Because honestly, I'm so much fucking happier when I don't have to listen to it.
Fine, then keep them off. We don't care, okay? We get that it just makes you look like a coward, and it just makes it look like you can't handle things and you have a really thin skin. And we don't care, though, for the most part, if you keep your comments off, because the majority of those were in support of you, all right? You can't turn these off though, can ya? Okay, my comments exist. My comments are down below, and if you guys want to say something about Chantal, toss it in there. I'd be happy to see it, okay? I don't turn my comments off, Chantal, because I don't have a thin skin. I don't care when people make fun of me, and there are people that make fun of me.
When I don't have to hear people judging me for what I eat just because I'm fat.
The problem, Chantal, is you label yourself something, and then you hide behind that label, and you don't allow anyone to criticize you because of that label. So you say, well, I can't be criticized because I am in, lumps herself into the fat box, or lumps herself into the mental illness box. Look at me, I'm in a box. Now you guys can't say anything about me because now you're making fun of all fat people and all people with mental illness. No, it doesn't work that way. We're not criticizing your weight, Chantal. We're criticizing how on one side you complain about your weight, and on the other side you pump up your weight. How do you not get that?
You don't know the full story on my health. You don't know everything. You don't know what I'm working on in therapy. You don't know my real blood sugar levels.
Right, and in your own videos, you told us that you're not going to hide anything and that you're giving us all the information. You're right, Chantal. We're just speculating based on what we're able to see. Okay, what do you want? Like, people are only allowed to say something if they have your entire medical history? Is that the standard that's there? Well, you know what, Chantal? You don't know what goes through our heads either. So how about unless you know our entire psych profile, you can't say anything bad about us. Right?
You only know what I told you. And I shouldn't have opened that can of worms. Oh, Lord, how I wish I didn't. But even if I didn't, people would still make those comments.
I don't understand who you think your enemy is. Like, people would still make these comments. Yes, Chantal, you're right. If you make a video on the internet and it gets thousands of views, there will be some people that will say some provocative things that are meant to dig at you so that you respond to them and so that they can say, ha ha, I evoked a response. That is what some people will do. Is that what you're against? Like, what a weird thing to be upset about. Are you also upset that gravity exists and it's not easier to jump or something? Is that like, these are just natural things that happen that you can't do anything about, Chantal. And what are you gonna do, huh? Control people and make sure that no negative things can be said against you? Well, here's a problem. Who gets to decide what's negative and what's criticism and what's hate? Not you, because you think everything's hate.
It's my life. Let me live it. Again, if you're so bothered, then just leave.
Chantal, I've got a little message for you, and this is not even what I want, all right? I don't care that you're here on this platform. In fact, I love that. I think the more people on this platform, the better, no matter what they're doing. I think that this should be a place like a cornucopia of content where you can find anything that you're looking for. I think that's the beauty of the internet, and that's the beauty of YouTube. But allow me to play you back some advice from someone that maybe you'll trust.
If you're so bothered, then just leave. People are sickeningly obsessed with what fat people put in their mouths. It's ridiculous. And if I have to hear one more time your channel's promoting, you're influencing people to be obese just by existing and just by eating something I want to eat.
What? What are you gonna do, huh? Turn off your comments? Ooh.
Is so fat phobic. It's disgusting. And just be quiet.
Yeah, guys, listen, Chantel's better than you, and she knows better, and she knows that every single criticism against her is just fat phobic. And so you're the bigot, and you're the bad guy, and she's the victim, and she gets to hide behind that, and she can do no wrong, because any time that she does wrong, and people make criticisms against her, you see, she's still the victim, because you're just being a fat phobe. Isn't it obvious?
It's just frustrating as a fat person having to deal with this day in and day out. Since the beginning of my channel, I don't want to close my channel because I love doing this. I love making videos for people who like to watch them, not for people who obsess over everything I do and hate me for it, for what I put in my mouth.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Chantel, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. I know that you love to do this, but this is kind of something that comes with the territory. There are going to be people that support you and people that are against what you're doing. That's just kind of how it is. Could you guys imagine if I went and made a video that just like was me slobbering in front of the camera like this, where I was just like, listen guys, if you think that like I have really crappy blinds, then you shouldn't watch my videos even. If I had to see one more comment about how my blinds suck, then I just don't know what I'm gonna do. You guys would make fun of me even more because I'd be being a goof. I'd be being an absolute goon.
Or for not dieting the way they think I should be. For eating carbs. I've had fucking death threats over eating carbs. I've had nasty comments over because I eat too many carbs.
Did people who are anonymous on the internet say something mean? Is that what happened? Are people not all nice in the world, and especially not on the internet? Huh? Especially when you're kind of saying one thing and doing another? Is that right, Chantel? I'm sorry. Go on.
I could tell you where to shove your carbs, but you won't like it. I'm so sick of the word. It's so triggering. You don't understand that. You're not helping. You think you are. You think that other people being nice are enabling, and that you're helping with your shaming, shitty comments. It's the fucking opposite.
You know, Chantel, let's say that's true. Let's say that the people who are criticizing you aren't helping. I would say that fine, I guess, but they're definitely not doing worse. And the people who are saying the nice things in your channel kind of are enabling you, especially when they're encouraging you to eat more and more. I'll throw that out there. But let's say that the people who are criticizing you aren't helping, or they're neutral, or let's say they're even worse. Sometimes it's not about helping. Sometimes it's just about saying the truth, right?
Okay. Everyone has free will. Everyone's allowed to live their life the way they want to. If I want to try to be healthy one minute and do what I want the next, that's my fucking prerogative.
And if we want to put comments under your video, and if we want to make videos about how you're making silly decisions and how you keep switching back and forth and won't be consistent, then that's our prerogative. It's kind of a rules for thee, but not for me situation for you, isn't it, Chantel? How can you not see the irony there, huh? Oh, irony, thy name is Chantal.
But just because you see me eating rolled tacos, or a meal that's not steamed fucking vegetables and quinoa, does not mean, or chaffles, or 8 pounds of cheese, does not mean I'm not doing anything and that I've given up. So,
yeah, guys, don't you get it? Don't you understand that just because I'm a bodybuilder and I never go to the gym and I actively try to reduce my muscle mass, don't you understand that I'm not giving up and I'm not moving away from being a bodybuilder? Don't you understand that that's just my choice? You guys, we're listening to someone who is not in touch with reality. That's who we're listening to right now. You hear that, Chantal? Talking about you.
Please. Shut it. Zip. Shh. I said shh. I don't want to turn off comments. And then even some people I thought were like really good supporters are like have turned on me for I don't even know what the fuck.
So I think this is in reference to that earlier comment that Annie had made where she says, listen, Chantal, I support you, but please don't do this. Please don't do these mukbangs. So you understand how like the mind process of Chantal works? Even for people who are her supporters, if they go against her on anything, whoop, gone, axed out of her life. No, she immediately assumes, oh, well, you're the enemy. I thought you were my friend, but you just stabbed me in the back. Ah. Or maybe, Chantal, just maybe your premise is wrong, and maybe people do care about what you have going on, and they're sick of seeing you say you're trying to be healthy, and you say, oh, well, it's just I'm not taking a step back or I'm not giving up just because I'm trying to live healthy, and then I'm going to spend an entire week eating ungodly amounts of food. Yeah, we're the idiots, Chantal. Maybe that's what gets under people's skin, is that then you go and blame other people. Maybe that has something to do with it.
Obviously not real supporters to begin with. You can leave too. I really don't care. I don't need you. I don't care if you want to unsubscribe. I'm not going to stop living how I want to live.
Chantal, if the point of this video is to make every single 100% of all of your comments positive comments and to make sure that there are no negative comments, I got a newsflash for you. This is not the way to do it.
Just because you disapprove of it. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not murdering anybody. I'm not doing anything morally wrong. If I trigger you when you have an eating disorder, don't watch me then. Don't watch me. I'm not responsible for how you live your life or who I'm triggering.
Come on, man. Okay, you're right. You're not responsible for our actions. But flip that coin. How are we responsible, huh? When you say you're not helping, how are we responsible? You're kind of implying then that we're making it worse and therefore it's our responsibility. Like me and you people who are watching this video, that's who she's talking about. I have no mistake there. So how is that our responsibility? How is that our fault? If that's how responsibility works, Chantal, that's fine. But I'd really like it if it worked universally that way and not in the I'm Chantal and I'm always right and people who criticize me are bullies way. I think that maybe that is the problem.
I'm not responsible for everyone's actions. You can't lay that on somebody, okay? Fat people have to eat. We have a right to eat what we want to eat, just as much as skinny people.
Yeah, and I guess we're on team fat people aren't allowed to eat, huh? Is that what your point is? Is that how the sides are drawn, Chantal? You're on team people should be allowed to eat, and we're on team fat people should starve? Yeah, I don't think so, okay? I don't understand why the argument is framed in your head that way. It's not what our point is, and it's not what we're trying to say to you, and there's not a single person that probably thinks, wow, you should have 0 calories. Listen to yourself. You ever think that, like, what you're saying, Chantal, sounds crazy? Follow that thought. You ever wonder why that sounds crazy? Maybe it's because it is.
You think that 2 chili cheese dogs are any healthier for the skinny person than the fat person?
Yeah, I know. You're right. But here's one for you. Do you think that most of your negative comments are because you ate 2 chili dogs? Or is it because you ate 20 wings, 15 fried pickles, and 40 french fries, and then also a soda? Or is it because you ate 2 whole pizzas? Or is it because, you know, etc.?
You know? Yeah, I've talked about my blood sugar levels, but you know what? As I've said also, I can't do drastic, okay? I'm trying to heal my relationship with food, and that's the only way I'm going to get anywhere in the first place. Otherwise, it's back to binge city.
You're in binge city, Chantal. You announced that you're going to do a week long of mukbangs where you just gorge on food. You're in binge city, okay? That's not the thing, man. As if Chantal was on like a really neat diet and she was very clearly making an honest effort to eat healthy, there would be nearly as many negative comments as if that's the case. Come on, you guys. Let's, like, she doesn't even understand the vector from which these comments are coming from. She doesn't get it. The comments that are going against her, She's lumping them into the hate and harassment barrel and nowhere else. She won't even for a second think, maybe it is me that's doing something wrong. Maybe I'm doing something that's causing a crazy response from people. Maybe these people might be onto something.
And that's even worse for my diabetes than the tacos I had for dinner. I want to get these things off my chest. I'm sick of being demonized for when I do give my opinion, and I'm sick of being demonized for being fat and eating what I want.
Stop hiding behind these labels. It's gross. You're minimizing people who have real problems and are really trying to deal with their problems because you're just hiding behind labels and then blaming other people for your problems and saying that they're the ones making it worse, Chantal. And I have a simple solution for you. It's actually pretty easy, okay? If you don't like negative comments, you don't have to have negative comments. Just turn them off, okay? Just turn off your comments then if you can't handle it. But then admit that you can't handle it. It's not our fault that you can't handle it, Chantal. It's your fault. And if you don't want the negative parts of social media, you can do everything that you do to make a video. You can open up Gmail, type in your email address, and you can email the video to yourself and put them in a little file explorer thing on your desktop, and you can call it Chantal's Journals or something like that. And you can just go there and watch them and share them with people that won't give you any negative comments if that's what you want. But here's the thing, you're going onto a website with billions of people using it, and they're going to have opinions just like you do, and they're allowed to have their opinions, Chantal. Contrary to your opinion, you're not better than them. You don't know better than these people, and they're allowed to have a voice on this platform just like you're allowed to have a voice. And the fact that you can go out there and then start reporting people that criticize you, it's disgusting, Chantal. How do you want us to have any sympathy for you when you talk out of the side of your mouth? You say one thing and then you do another. You accuse people of criticizing you, then you criticize other people. Why is it hate when they do it and not hate when you do it? That's my honest question to you, and I don't think that you would be happy with the answer. Thanks for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it always helps with the YouTube algorithm so that I can grow the channel. And also, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'll have some links in the description. The Twitter is @yestervark1. I'm trying to get over 1,000 on both of those. That would be, I don't know, really cool. So I feel like if each person that watches this video did it, I'd easily hit that number. I'd really appreciate if you did it. But if not, that's okay too. I always enjoy when you're just watching my stuff and leaving cool comments. So I'll let you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching. You have a good one.